very good evening to everyone, and good afternoon wherever you are, and good morning wherever you are. Once more, me welcome you, Biamra and Isho no HGH. And then your very interesting topics why you're about to discuss it. First off, you best start from Kennedy Agyeapong and Kevin Taylor. You say, the outcome of our decision now court are holding. As it stands right now, we can discuss fully, but let me put caution note out there. Our discussion, it doesn't intend to be a legal advice. It's just a stated opinion based on my understanding of how the court arrive in a conclusion, and all subsequent issues are related to this issue, this legal discussion. Yet the correspondence in a big line so on the boy. How la Ghana for any taking but some of us, our focus is going to be on the impact on the judiciary. Is it going to have any impact on how your ruling is done in our country? Has this thing lifted or brought some sort of awareness where rule of law is concerned, which talks about eligibility before the law? I know that there are several times in Kufu because you Canadian or Kevin Taylor or Bema on your day, Ghana. So we just want to find out, say, indeed, now Canadian case and that's all no case, but excuse me, say the lawyers and play the cases very well, all the issues, because there are about 4 issues now the court here. And it's unfortunate the 12B6 motion now judge in general so they dismiss the case, All what it says and they say issue no current and rise to tribal level, like and during the stage of trial they say pre-trial motion no dismiss the case, So it means arguments were not even established. Right? They couldn't plead their case very well. That's why the judge dismissed the case. We'll get into that issue. But you better take Kevin Taylor and Angasa. You're being very brief. If we are E-Levy in Hubi, if we are talking about the economy. But with Black Stars issues, you see and tackle it say about the state of economy. But Black Stars, who say a bomb basso and I say a bomb basso. I know there's a lot of accusation going on with the coach and Abedi Bano and some of those. The first off, we and then chakra. Now I'll say it's enough. Let me welcome everyone back to the studio. Let's do this. You hear from Kevin Taylor and Angasa how to see interpretation, but before for the purpose of copywriting, you can give you credit to Loud Silence Media, which is the Kevin Taylor NNA Media platform. Omuntina you access to this document. More case in Angasa so like I mean, related to him. He's a direct defendant where this issue is concerned. I don't know, so I'm joining the LLC in so which is the Laos Silence Media and so because the full complaint now, because I saw someone joining media and I saw that on the complaint normal file here, and normal answer. So this is what we are going to do. You better Kevin Ankasa na interpretation no mabem kakra. Yeah, no few minutes you have the other topics no. Yeah, about.
American. I'm not English. That's not my first language, so I'll do my best to read it the way I can. If I get it wrong, I will try and correct those words. Now, when you look at the case here, I'm saying that the case action number is 121 CV 1205. 121 CV 1205. I hope I got it right. The legal guys, if I got something wrong, just tell me. Now, if you want to also get access to this document from the United States District Court for the Eastern District of Virginia, you can go on pacermonitor.com. pacermonitor.com. When you go there, you will the ruling. The judge and we are going to talk na Ghana for a year United States of America. Into a breaking news in the Bible Church Ghana for echo. All right, let's start the case. Now, in the United States District Court for the Eastern District of Virginia, Alexandria Division, Kennedy Acheampong, plaintiff, Loud Silence Media, LLC et al., that is defendants, myself and Loud Silence Media, and a defender who sa assembly. Now, Mama kind the judge now, actual. A 8-page document, so it's going to take a bit of time, but that is what we are doing tonight. We are not doing anything else. After that, the show will end. I'll be back tomorrow to do the normal with all due respect. Now, order, introduction. I say this matter comes before the court on the defendant's motion to dismiss amended complaint. Now, the motion has been fully briefed by the parties and is now ripe for consideration. Background. It says the plaintiff in this case, Kennedy Acheampong, is an individual who is a citizen and a resident of the nation of Ghana. Agyeapong is an elected member of Ghana's parliament and is the chair of the board of Ghana Gas Company Limited. The defendant in this case are Kevin Taylor, an individual, and the company Loud Silence Media, LSM. Taylor is a resident of Virginia and currently lives in Alexandria, Virginia. Taylor is the founder and manager of Loud Silence Media, or LSM, which is a limited liability company organized in Virginia, and that it has its principal place of business in Alexandria, Virginia. Taylor appears on several news shows broadcast over the internet, website, YouTube, and Facebook. Taylor and LSM produce news media that focuses on the people and politics of the country of Ghana. One of the shows produced by the defendant, let me change it to the second page so that you can follow it. Yeah, there's a second page. Taylor and LSM produce news media that focuses on the people and politics of the country of Ghana. One of the shows produced by the defendant is titled With All Due Respect. Taylor is the host and presenter of this show. The show streams live video broadcast on Facebook and YouTube to a large audience. The plaintiff has alleged that Taylor has made several defamatory statements on this show and further alleges that these false accusations were intended to humiliate and disparage the integrity of the plaintiff. Based on these statements, the plaintiff has filed the current civil action in this court. The first allegedly defamatory statement that the defendant made was an accusation that Agyeapong is connected to the 2016 murder of a Ghanaian member of parliament. Taylor has also accused Agyeapong of being responsible for the murder of a journalist who had reported on corruption in the Ghana Football Association. Taylor has accused Agyeapong of using fake green cards to help Ghanaian citizens immigrate to the United States. Taylor has accused Agyeapong of trafficking in illegal drugs. Taylor has accused Agyeapong of being addicted to illegal drugs. Taylor has accused Agyeapong of financial corruption. Agyeapong has alleged that Taylor has repeatedly made the continues to make these statements as recently as September of 2021. Agyeapong alleges that Taylor knew these statements were false and that these statements were made knowingly and recklessly. Based on his litany of disparaging remarks, Agyeapong has filed the amended complaint with count for defamation per se, and 3, violation of the Virginia computer crime. Page 3. Legal standard. To survive a motion to dismiss under Federal Rule of Civil Procedure, that is 12b-6, a complaint must contain sufficient factual allegations that will state a claim to relief that is possible on its face, if those allegations are accepted as true. Now, a motion is dismissed pursuant to Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 12b-6, that is, must be considered in combination with Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 8A2, which requires a short and plain statement of the claim showing that the pleader is entitled to relief, so as to give the defendant fair notice of what the claim is and the grounds upon which it rests. When a well-plead complaint only infers, and I quote, the mere possibility of misconduct, end of quote, the complaint does not demonstrate a plaintiff is entitled to relief. And as you can see, they are stating other cases. The judge is stating some cases as references, so those ones I don't want to talk about it. It's going to slow you down. We are not lawyers. We are reading what is here. Now he goes on to say this. When a well-pleaded complaint only infers, and I quote, the mere possibility of misconduct, end of quote, the complaint does not demonstrate a plaintiff is entitled to relief. Pleading that are merely labels and conclusions will not be accepted as true. District courts may also consider materials attached to the complaint so long as their authenticity is not challenged and the materials are integral to or relied on within the complaint. Now, discussion, that is page 3. And this is what is in the ruling. Some of them are very technical, so I have to try and...
Okay, you know what? Let me welcome everyone back to the studio. This is what we are going to do. For the purpose of time, you to me, see the Kevin, yeah, you know, but once more, no, you have credit and for on any platform. Loud Silence Media, with all due respect. So, Obianim story way. It was between Agyeapong and Kevin Taylor. So Kevin Taylor, I mean, or a media guy, and then one Loud Silence Media now, we're registered as an LLC. That alone is called asset protection. Okay. With a platform like this, no, so we'll bring a lawsuit against me. May correct us our impression and I be more no. So we'll bring a lawsuit against Kevin Taylor. This is what is going to happen. Say, you must see a bed the property or harm and the wife with divorce and all those unnecessary allegations nearby. You know. I didn't know until this time. Him said the Loud Silence Media LLC. Because of that, you know, you can Usina or it's a different entity from the entity, you know, from the LLC. You know. So LLC know a property and I bet you attach it, but on Wagasa as to person you can't. But that issue no encore. So one of the questions are popping up and just say address it. 2. Kennedy was a plaintiff in this situation. Kevin Taylor was a defendant, meaning Kennedy in the assembly court who demanded 9.5 million USD. Okay. You see, cases are Kennedy are legit, you know. To me, unless I be our own monitor Kevin Taylor and answer own share what goes on. Everything was on point. These are things that Kevin Taylor did in the show, and he's not the only one. Most journalists in Ghana edit a show, okay? But just no, taking so much time, no, focusing so much on the issue. And you know, Kevin, Kennedy Agyeapong, making decision in Ghana, and Bahano Babe file a lawsuit, you know, against Kevin Taylor and the Loud Silence Media. But you know what he did? He and his lawyers. Almost buy, you know. But okay, another issue so popular upon say when I say Kennedy Japan with COB, yes, the United States federal courts and in some of the state courts allow people to bring legal action, allow foreigners to use to as a platform to bring legal action. Because at this point in year establish what they call domiciliary. Kevin Taylor is a Virginia guy. He's in one state. Kennedy Japan will use the citizenship as a Ghanaian. He's a foreign person. He's a foreigner. He's allowed to bring a lawsuit here. Either so green card or no green card is neither here or there. That doesn't add up here. It's called diversity or establish diversity. To establish it. And I'm over a case on the court is more than 75,000, which is about 9.5 million demanded. Either you can go to federal court to bring an action, and that's what he did. So I'm mostly defamation and you're too pay. So we should be a good be any mercy. True or false. Simple as that. But say which complaint now Kennedy will plead here now. I'm file a defamation per se. With defamation per se, this is what it says. In the moment we be catch us say or file defamation per se be very likely say obe win the case no. Because who you should be a juma, who do be professional attacking no. And now say would the obi sebi na yare be a one home be any pan or equata or leprosy or HIV, ST, you know. Because the presumption is to protect such people. Disability, people who fall within certain classes. No? That is why it's done that way. So, Kennedy mo plead sad defamation per se, no. Now, I give you a case, no, a very strong because I need the most of the times, no, judges, no, share right away. Almost to him claim, say, no, crest or kaya. But indeed, say, Kevin Taylor and Pokaya. We share the conclusion of the judge, and I do remember you be ready and I be what they buy. Kakano and person may get to because of time. Now, issues were raised in the Bini. 1. 2016, there was a murder of a journalist in Ghana, or accusing of. And then Peninsula Wu I believe said there was a subsequent issue. Kevin had discussed that. 2. Or see, or you see fake green cards. It means the mango for be a back room. And also dealing what you call drug trafficking. Meaning at this point as an MP, no, where he's going after the professional integrity. Then also we're engaging in financial corruption. So these are very serious allegations. But the burden of proof was on Kennedy Japan to establish it. In as much as Odu Biakoko doesn't mean so I win the case, no. Okay? So, or filing case in you know, there's what you call well-pleaded complaint. And who put the defendant on a notice that a lawsuit has been filed. At that point, you know, I mean, it's just a mere statement. Those are who stated claims, like issues, no. And sooner later, case in the court trial, more than arguments and cancer by more time. And you know what Kevin Taylor able to me here at this point today, Ibini. In the Kennedy year, we are not seeing really even. The federal court, any judge or better case, and so earn 9.5 million USD. Me before this case came, before a case you could have a many will be discussed. It's you can no demand, too much. I have a friend called Lawyer Boy. He's a practicing lawyer. I'm catching a lawyer. Case we and go in favor of Kennedy. Even if so, when the crisis can judge be no ukrumo but because there's a famous case be New York Times any Israeli prime minister in your issue be about invading. The Israelis won the case all right. But the federal court said, "Omun to me prove the damages." So you see, unlike your country, your jurisdiction, sometimes courts need to me award a certain huge amount of defamatory judgments, like monetary judgments. You know, sometimes more because you have to prove those damages, with the exception of negligence, with the exception of defamation per se. You know, and the judge sometimes can punish you with even punitive damages. But it was one of the claims, but that is not the case here. But we'll put everything together, no demand 9.5 and a raise your eyebrow. So now, Kennedy are filing case in every year. We'll put Kevin Taylor on notice. Kevin Taylor and lawyers also are filing an answer. Okay? But before you even file an answer, I mean you are responding to charges that they are told, so no. But let's do this. Those charges near the toll. Kevin Taylor added to Kennedy bring you to court. Now Kevin Taylor and allow silence media never be defend the issue. No, say the book. Before, you can choose to do nothing. There, the judgment against you. But Kevin didn't do that. Kevin did not also file an answer. But there's what you call testing motions. There's a lot of them. Obi takes a date in your property and dismiss the case. Application one filing and dismiss the case. My name wasn't properly spelled and dismiss the case. So this is what happened. Kevin Taylor and the lawyers invoke authority is called a 12B6. Okay? Now 12B6 say and a 12B6 eka. Or say is the Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 12B6 pertains to pre-trial motions, specifically deals with motions to dismiss for failure to state a claim upon which relief can be granted. Motions are rarely successful, and when they are, their success usually has more to do with the judge than the law. Nevertheless, they appear regularly in law school civil procedure exams and bar exam civil procedure questions. So it's important to be aware of them. Failure to state a claim upon which relief can be granted can mean a number of things, all of which have to do with what is stated in the complaint. So at this point, it's a testing motion. It tests the sufficiency of the pleadings. And no manner Kennedy Agyeapong. That is what court about testing. Okay? So, Kevin Taylor mo file here, and a judge or share Kennedy issues or the big good seniors. So, case in the Crown Court trial, this is what they call a pre-trial motion. So, Kevin Taylor motion so file winning in a failure. We got the back open of file 12B6. A failure or another to try another motion can also failure and some will file an answer, which is about counter Kennedy Japan arguments not established here. That's what they call arguments. What the motion bar no more respond, the motion bar no respond. But we didn't go there. Just the first hearing, no share no way Kennedy motion is not my reason. And raise it to the level of it doesn't raise to tribal level upon which you bet mark Kennedy even relief. Therefore, I saw dismiss the case. And why? The standard that we use here. Okay. In normal defamation case, for instance, I'm not a trained journalist, I'm not a public figure. So many A or B, ordinary person on the street in the standard the judge will use is called negligence. It has me only a duty of care to the person, a duty not to disrespect the person. That also will prove you all the standard of negligence. And na judge to me a grant. That's let me am relief. When to me and prove judge no really man. So yes, standard need low. But here's the case, it changes. To hear a complaint in here. Omu declares that Kennedy is a public figure who is a politician. So at this point, in order for Kennedy to win a negligence case, with the exception of negligence per se, as I have already explained, so by winning normal charges now falling on regular defamation cases, the standard is not negligence, it's malice. That's what judge wanted to. That's what the judge will tell them. Say the standard or they try, and it's not because it's Kennedy Japan, but or a public figure. Anybody a public figure be now who go that threshold or the standard. They say I see you use what you call malice, meaning Kevin Taylor should have had that forethought, the malicious intent. Said me, Baba Yadi Ankasa Ahapape. That or Baba disrespecting or Yadi purposeful intended. With Agyeapong ni be said, me good Kennedy Japan was sort on drugs. Me good anyone say so ye fake green card bank for. Me good anyone say what they could journalists purposely or targeting with Agyeapong. But here's the case the judge is saying say no, Kevin Taylor a publisher it can be said in Kofu break, it can be organa no. So why are you bringing lawsuit against him? Dismiss the case on a 12B motion. To me it's very unfortunate. Not only that is embarrassing, but I mean it's what it is. That's the standard. So now can I think of argue on different places, and I'm not here for name calling. I don't believe in that. I mean, don't let anyone deceive you. The guy has won the case. Case in the Crown Court trial, pre-trial motion, and one winning case. at this point, Kennedy, our option. At federal court, you have like 60 days. It has about appeal case in the bill to the United States, the Federal Appeals Court. So then I need that's a stop so called the United States Supreme Court. I'll be file the writ of set or certiorari. Say it deem me to go there or more granting I'll between the case na call. But in this initial stage, in Pona try and put lose case and so let's see what the lawyers on the advice on. You see, defamation cases mostly you don't prevail so much. Not to say somebody can win. But the point is the reason why a lot of people don't succeed so much, they are not caught in a very careful, say because of freedom of speech, freedom of expression, And sometimes there's that sort of caution in it all. Because so you understand as curtail people's right to expression and freedom. So it was a very simple, you see, this is what I was discussing with a friend. Mrs. Our ruling way in your ruling now. I mean, you don't need to go to law school to even understand the conclusion of the judge. Opa, which means I read exactly what the judge said. Let me read a so our platform. So this is what the judge said. Let me quote verbatim. Our this is what the judge said. Conclusion: it is undisputed that Agyeapong, his public figure, and Taylor's statement were made regarding matters of public concern. The amended complaint does not plead any factual material that demonstrate Taylor's disputed statements were published with actual malice and an amateur Agyeapong. Therefore, Agyeapong has not adequately pled an actionable claim. Further, the amended complaint does not plausibly state a claim under the Virginia Computer Crime Act. Now, compare some of the cyber issues. So you see, okay, the judge defamation issues in album, addresses our computer issues. For these reasons, the motion to dismiss the amended complaint, which is DKT or use Virginia for code related to the Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 12B6 now, is granted, and the above caption civil action is dismissed. The plaintiff has 60 days to file a second amended complaint if that filing would meet requirement discussed in the order. It is so ordered. March 21st, 2020, Alexandra, Virginia. Signed, Liam O. Grady, United States District Judge. All right. That says the Lord. So this is the conclusion. Back and forth, I've seen a lot of podcasters almost started twisty issues. Can't seem and one update is somebody and then say Kevin Taylor cross be must say my judge. And it's very unfortunate. I mean, idea is so clear. Not because of Kevin Taylor won. Either you like him or you hate him. It's the judge's decision. I mean, it's too clear. We won't bias I can't because the reasoning of the plaintiff, judge in the counter, or try to say a too light. More to be important pleading cases are a minor actionable level for us to try the case. Boom, that's it. They say we must start accusing judges and hearing Kevin Taylor is going to take those podcasters right? Let's be very circumspect. You can obey to me at discuss judicial rulings, but to the extent say we'll go to attack the integrity of the judiciary, we have to be very careful. You see, Nkonko do be a cheat, all right. If I question me other different, I will start. Minchia podcasters and so I discussing this issue. I hope people be brain I can't answer. Now on the other note, you better call into the state of the economy. Then we'll be talking about the E-Levy too. James Kevin Taylor issue the best Hanom. You say E-Levy nearby in Kufu brain I can E-Levy no answer. I don't know into me also yeah there so more pass it. James say I mean they need it. They actually need it. A quick break. We are now at the Yeah, this will be hold you on 1 second. I'm joining other colleagues in the young call. All right, let me welcome everyone back to the studio. I just say my young question now in chill. I'm say it's been a while. Free Ghana buy in so I tight kakra. Maybe I boko there. I just say.
Yeah, hello.
Yes, you're on air. Good evening. Let's say.
Oko, now sir.
I am so free Ghana buy there, and then I'm forced to come by. Yeah, starting off from your Black Stars no. We didn't say how the 1 minute crowd my eye pay. Well, you say yeah, bomb basso and I say yeah, trom some bomb more. Which one?
Oh, na. I'm draw no. You say then you will please be quite on Nigeria. We can't for winning.
Did I be bizarre no? I just want to know.
Yeah, because I'm one year too. They say you bought my basso. I say then you hear from the call for one round in the match. I want to say
so it means there's nothing that we can use to change the outcome, eh?
No, I don't think.
Because Ghana don't see any calculations be a maybe a Kohoni a show one, maybe a Nigeria full lose almost second. You remember back in the days? I didn't hear
you know, they say calculation in them say they be now we'll they say and one I sure because and then no as Ghana for ya deals
no
so more hype to come back.
Nipa ko stadium pa you know I even saw it Nipa ko papa
yeah na man for so je ho say they say support me or beat me we are behind
they were giving
so right now I don't think say about Black Star no cry for a long time I don't support.
Hey, let me we'll bring a support issue. Let's do this near fair and see. Me be brave call I saw MPP presidential hopeful Alan Martin was there. Man who but me who Alan or me who former confessor player or ball national team so Oseko Fonso was there. And a GFA boss no or Krikunonim Kasapa or Kasai or Katre or Monsho the number of nationals are big in our stadium one more Baba support you. There shouldn't be disappointment. But baby, I mean, you're from Kakaya, Betty Bano. I didn't know at one point I say game ni baby, you know, be a person as a coach, you know. Me and I see me to me follow almost soccer, but me shall replay, no. I didn't know, but I'm just as a coach, you know. Easy in the free. It's like the first asset without him, the team will move forward.
Over the period, I'm saying Ghana formed tendency.
So,
And I'm kind of we say, wow, you see, I said, oh yeah, dear, I can't know any idea my entire.
now, Paul Mumpenasam, is it based on performance and now some more other factors be against him?
I think some those things are made as far as wow, we need to accept so much. But what I'm seeing around, I think people think that Papa is having some kind of influence.
Oh, on the GFA selection process in your mind. But
So,
the Papa the guys, they've done very well for the national team. And
they have. Nasa Ghana, they start some way, I don't know, so you on the Indy. Or no answer crank, so who said, baby, our bay, say a fenyo, so how I run now, so you know, on prepare or also a mistake, yeah, the man.
oh, okay.
Yeah, the MC Ghana fans mentioned that your lawyer. You know, oh, yeah, why, yeah, the more because me first I'm the Black Star next power. Almost strengths of bad performance. Number of years, I don't quite number because of national weight. But if anyone who's say, I wish to.
All right. Edison, let's do this. Encore. My name is intro now. Kennedy. Any Kevin Taylor semi. Aqua Afeaba. The very unfortunate thing, Kennedy lawsuit of fire. My name is my state here a little understanding. It wasn't legal opinions. It's my understanding and my little background.
It wasn't what?
From my interpretation, how a judge didn't make a conclusion. I don't deem that to be say from men. I don't want it to be say it's a legal advice. Bind you, but I understanding. So let's do this. Ruling Abawi. Kennedy more pleaded cases are not 9.5 million in defamation, including defamation per se. I mean, purpose of time to mean go in but so the only one how breaking it down and classifying into two what defamation per se is. Kennedy a Lucy case, our pre-trial motion, meaning case now court trial, we dismissing, we lawyers not dismissing case. With 12B motion, and I say 12B motion simply means you fail to state a claim upon which a relief can be granted. Meaning, why some other by the goons and as a grant to mean court trial. Judging, I don't want to use that. Judging not to us, I'm not trying to cry. I then there was so be uncle, you know. And once I'm insisted, so be amendment. Initially, amend the case in Impo, or yeah, amend the case in Impo now. Ekobani say anyway, defensive. So 60 days now, let's see what happened. What do you say since I saw Ben and organic judiciary so it be mostly uphold the rule of law in this country because looking at the caliber of Kevin Taylor or Namwe, Sebi, when it comes to water, on value even the shoe of Kennedy Agyeapong. I mean disrespecting, but that is the standard. I mean Kennedy is also in Yasama or to be Russia, you know. But here, people are saying it's more like rule of law has been lifted, has been like celebrated, and the law has won, you know, because they want to say irrespective of your status, being economic, political, social background, you are equal before the law. And indeed, they want to say that is why this federal judge is ruling case, you know. I'm sure Kennedy in Sika. Be uncle for you, I'm Kevin Taylor, Belmont Bragan, and in your so you decide you between your impact on your rulings I Ghana and I say as I be my dear.
So first of all, we just say we impact. And secondly, so me sure say judge we are to our very but the neighbor who sick over here because so yeah then on nine. You know. Union so sick and also cry no. I don't want to say a questionable here, but most of it is politically oriented. It is Ghana is Russia. Because on why oligarch nibi. It is that's kind of first name impressive judge be a papa be a warrior. And now judge no so na juma ne say that wa okay overhead the merits of it.
Yes.
Na me a say we call court. Me akra na me ka say we can tell akra pan ko family lawyer.
Oh really?
Because you know, and change the dumbest thing I am saying about you. Then one was more report to me and now I think Kennedy Agyeapong will lose cases. Opa Ghana ha yeah na same say we lose kakra. Kokuba kokra dey to lose here. See force to transfer judges. So I do think that I don't think they're very influenced. Wow, they was some more court yeah, no prepare was it. The same thing or cockatoo and half. Or to be able to say, or home catcher and crowd from somewhere witness of some, you know those kind of things. No? So I don't really think that my judicial system really lower than the idea. Typically, the IS no and pass them into and pay both sides of the argument into we say okay, we can public trial and then depend on winning, but the real trial with yeah, now yeah.
Right.
So for this one, the Nyeri and American Kennedy Lusu Ghana in some of the foolish cases, and this is another foolish case. So for me, I don't think it really does anything. Judge in a moment, I had the pre-trial and Wamian with you be a secret.
All right, this hold on 1 second. This but you hold on. So colleague in what me join here. Lord, what line is it?
Yeah.
All right, perfect. But you hold on my line. This wrap up now, Lord, and some picking on that young
Yeah, so for me, I don't think that judiciary, like I say, Yabalu and I are high. Welusubi or Hada, Welusubi or American. When I make a judge in the idea, say, why me and we still be a time, me uncle,
but what kind of sir, don't you think, sir, say, Sebi, you didn't check a craman and lawyers, because proud to some file case and media audio be a circulate to social media. Also, behind the top notch lawyers in US. Now, best strip young guy,
no. Very good. And no, yes, that's also a very good direction because, and I find this our top lawyer, Kofan. So they say, went to me advising the client, I did a waste of time, Musikana media. Will keep you and the tico. Lawyer Ben on years so professional, say, or advising the client, or then the client will call and go say, and I say, Unimum Rano, and or if you say, okay, animal law near fan, okay, okay, law for car. And I just want to say, they be a law in Casano expertise in our tax. And I didn't call you away, and I just mean, see, but typically, no. And also, the second in the and case of pay lawyers, Papa. Now, for you, almost too no. And now, for the lawyers, no way clearly, we stereotype, but I am a tightest asset. I say, all types of power for Ghana lawyers now, sign on the way. What her come could do her own country. Lawyers are more function, but I feel so. Lawyer and I'm one.
Yeah, sure. And then he's a come file case in the crowd. I see. I did say wrap up my
law, Nimonidi. Nipa no nim law, nigga, no nim so good case. It was for you, no, the doctor, now, send a lawyer, now, so we now back, but I would be and life I will be, and I will pursue. So I know.
All right, let's do this.
Oh, avoiding.
All right, let's do this. All right, Lord, my man, welcome in, bro. Any show no. Now, Miss Anda was you. You're rich on the right time, but we'll sacrifice all the boy. Lord, now Ghana, this is Black Stars on our ofi. You celebrate your man, say encourage you, and I say you condemn you.
Football, man said ancestral.
But what are the reactions of the people in the country? Like if you send a motikino, I say a draw. The one who cry me score. No score line is stage draw.
I mean, you say a draw. You say a draw. I mean, what I was able to get from it was that some of the players be complaining about Pate and others on Jordan Ayew. But me. Honestly, but what I heard was that the players did quite well. Just that, I mean, some few players didn't pull their weight. And then with the performance, if everything should go on as planned, we should win when we get to Nigeria because the pressure will be on the Nigerians and stuff. But then again, they share born. It means to me, and make any conclusive easier for myself.
All right, that's okay. Let's do this. Another issue. Okay, we say football see with you. We see you outside. They say we are some a global village. You be see you here. Mukra move to me to Krumpas and I will be at it. Lord, what's his name? The two case, Kevin Taylor and Kennedy Agyeapong. Me person me go through introduction so do nyahweti. They categorize both claims, all the claims or the core, and about 4 of them. No, let me group it into 2. The defamation cases, Emutre falls under general defamation case as a public figure, which the judge's standard was malice, and the last one was what you call negligence per se. Sorry, defamation per se. I'm sorry. I don't know, mostly defamation per se in crowd and car. Judges knew who and no. Almost say no cry right away. You read the mount near your bony panica. So would you be professionally editing at them? Would you be area leprosy, excuse me, say STD, you know, ETC and as if we do be at them. Ningina cases not the coin, but the judge in the person to me, they couldn't plead their case very well to a dismissing on Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 12B6 motion. Now 12B6 motion is simply says, somehow the back court in the you couldn't plead your case for it to rise to the level of actionable standard. And you don't mean granted relief, ma. Just as some and you saw and want to be answer the stated issues or claims, you know. In the case in the trial, a pre-trial motion or more they are dismissing case, you know. Very unfortunate. Then send a Ghana for almost taking on. How are the people in Ghana reacting to it? And secondly, is it going to have any impact on the rulings in our country? If you must say rule of law, and most of the broadcasters and the podcasters or social media, almost say, yeah, Ghana outcome will be different. Do you share the same sentiment or view with them?
And like you're saying, this is more like the first time I knew that I mean Kennedy Agyeapong was suing Kevin Taylor, but I mean as to the this thing that you are talking of, I haven't come across it. Until when I saw the topic, I said, I don't know much about it. I mean, right. But I mean, at least there's a rule of law somewhere.
There is.
If it was Ghana, I don't think. I mean, as long as he is in power, his case will be case, regardless the non-father it is. You understand? But at least this should serve as a deterrent to Ghanaian lawyers and judges.
Sure.
Not all cases now. I would say a bit tomo anima di sikechi go anymore.
All right, Lord, let's do this. I know, sir. Now, how are the people also taking it? How they reacted? If you who saw almost repa, and I Kennedy in some crop for any people so much. Just say arguments are Kennedy supporters need to be making. Me, how many part of the Fred? And I not you know. I was trying to get his reasoning. The entire old to me podcasts are. My name's what in the Freddy. Are you the big one? I do say them so no. That the Fred Mboa.
Oh, that is Freddy. I mean, no crown. I'm a kid. We don't mean because I on me pen reaction.
And the cocotier, Bakubi or the Abbey Boom, the Emma, or same as judge, and when me I mean tea and personally, Kevin Taylor, and I can say, almost judge, you know. I'm so Kevin Taylor, I'm on the allergy say, you say that the Fred Akokase, be a mean tea, so it's all on allegation. Say judges and say, same say judge and Aqua GB Bintino ruling man, no, but that the Fred and super so say. That Fred, the mimity and running, this is what he said. Or say, Kevin Taylor no crown your bema. Now, what can some of Uncle form when I be you and I was my dismissal case, you know. So I'm trying to understand and get his reasoning. Now, second, it drew time, I think you make Kevin Taylor the arguments being and what, but the judge is even saying, we need not to even move forward because in someone would buy in you wait on the first stage. Anyway, mini papa I don't know to the your friends. Oh, the when you tell me to me to the fool. Back in the days now, about who suffer for near any show today. On the source statue of Ghana, senior and all there. Remember to the fool because maybe you need to. I don't know any money or a video be now material more than 5 times. I'm trying to get in reasoning. Only there's another gentleman be also one of the states. He said they are trying to say second Kevin Taylor no and winning case no. Like Kevin Taylor coward into no how dismiss case no. Nah, I didn't know be what can't say be you are not saying dismiss case. Just say I can't get almost I don't know man. Anyway, you know my followers in Zoo no more celebrity or more. Ghana, there is a problem man. All right, Lord, we're the best at rules. Your last topic in here. So, be any short of my and for the next 7 minutes and end the show. No, Lord, state of the economy.
Yeah.
Meaning, so what here? Government, you know, MET. Right now, no, them say baby, I didn't do the acquires Russia, the no, by hook or crook at one point or at certain point, E-Levy next year pass it. Now, the government have also come to realization, so mine after economy na heading, see in I resolve it. Government meeting the top officials about state of the economy. Or see, E-Levy will be passed by the end of March, finance minister. Meaning, sa papa will soon na what in indeed that your friend no kusibuafu. And I only want to indeed that one.
Me too, yeah.
There's this man or in charge of so is it public? I'll get it for you. Kusibuafu so at the back will be about two. Or see, in order to see a bit your salaries, you know, in order for the government to be in a position to pay the salaries, you know, SA 11 year pass it. Lord, I know so what that background in economics. You know, what is the state of Ghana, your economy is here? And I did mean something as a E-Levy, into Minkwe.
The state of our economy means starting free here about the same.
Oh Lord, I said there's an assessment. Assessment John Dramani Mahama all corner, Sebiu, Oja economy edema and this for. So not necessarily getting into the whole thing, but we bet near the summary of it. What you say?
Okay. I mean, the main fan from currently state I own. Currently state I own your dollar.
Yes.
And
gas and it or the engine say general thing. And I'm on qua. Me na me told me there $40 the fellow me car tank. See, I'm 75.
Mean to me in general. I mean, this is the state of the economy and a friend say this current government.
Yes.
It means to me in general, because I mean, there were times that oil prices were going quite high, and I'm a boy. But so the MPP said if we had better managers, I mean, fuel prices could be stable. We don't have to continue to buy fuel at a higher price. Almost kind at the point. I don't know. So okay, yeah. So I cannot say it's general. The current world prices because of Ukraine is getting to this level. There's something that we introduced, the price stability fund. They saw it to be irrelevant. They saw. I mean, because that time, Oman to me anticipated that in the near future or at any given time there could be crisis. At that price stability fund, so and within these times or a idea, more of an insurance, not be a best so given this situation. What the person China say? So, into crisis, the stability fund no I know the best so and I can say hello
Economics and them say me from you. Say me man for them idea. After prime penana, see me jai.
and the bill minimum yet tap me to the me person me
No, I understand what you're trying to say. Say a reaction based off actions are leader by quantity.
Exactly. You're going to any situation at those price for stability fund no a best to show you anchor ABR price no cost for because of the stability fund no you bet you 100 cry a you bet you no bear 50 but those things actually happen when there's crisis. They say we are in crisis state. But then when they came, they saw it necessary. So mobile first kabia akwa almost free SHS move, which is good. I'm not saying it's bad, but oh yeah, they're now one to me and I'm budgeting a year and to me and they say at this given time, oh better and as I say a bema watch or more or because Bob Bustiano, yeah, Bob Bustiano in dollars. So you are given day and a additional more and a true to what Bob Bustiano $5 million. And then Bustiano the city equivalent here 5.4. Time I was so as long as it's $5 million, it has to be $5 million. We still did no buffer. So when you are paying, oh say lose it. So you are stressing yourself, and then you be a couple, oh say a transfer, say everything is right. And no ma right no better no obi abo. Young fan say books enye, oh see books here. IMF will be strong according to how better say ye normal ye ni say on father proper accounting no conquer money better now what so and as a better now what ye and see with the state of economy as of now I don't know it's still almost fabricated stories. Nothing is really true about our accounts. You see, our debt stock is at this to our GDP. That's what the IMF is saying. Your opposition, you believe them. Now you are in power. You don't believe them. You are saying what they are reporting is a lie. But then, I mean, you're calling him, and I say to me, I'm making any progress anyway. I do say, Abacha, when it comes to the state of economy, unless you're best started from time Baumia, Kasa, or 170 questions, or bet me, answer a best solve Ghana problem. That same 170 questions, for to me, Banan Kobe, answer near the share. Okay. Ebeboa paa.
Say yeah, the basic honum. But in general, oil issue with the Ghana one affect them. But there's a kind.
Abacha is not only about the oil issue.
Like general price of goods and services. Say be complaints.
Prior to that, now your city was still coming down. You were reporting. I mean, they've reported that there's been trade surpluses for 3 consecutive, years. In fact, what the trade surplus I say? Just a normal, they call a bontino, a door to chain normal, they back. the export and the money we are making, we are making too much money. Like we are good. Obia to say be our budget for 5 million. Your money that you are supposed to get, you've been able to save some, and like your economy is super good. So if you are having trade surpluses for 3 consecutive times, and it's not a year or more cut a year or more a hand time, 3 consecutive times. Now within this, how many months? Okachan said within this crisis, the economy has fallen down that city. It's dwindling. There's no story that you tell me on. Now, finance minister about 15 pesos, about 4. So the whole of last week, he paid 2 times. 2 times. Abacha, I don't know what's the American affair. Right now, there's no traffic because people can't move. Fuel is expensive. Your dollar has come down. Your fuel has, and then if you go to the port to the taxes that we are paying, coupled with this E-Levy, Charlie, the state of economy there, I don't know. And yeah. Me pay 2 times this your friend said this week. Me use a Land Cruiser Prado, a diesel.
Oh, that's it, yeah. Diesel, yeah. You don't have to have.
And share Metro about and Canada.
Oh, they buy on average, or like what's all year comparative analysis between diesel and regular.
One a year. Your friend said 1 gallon here 50 Ghana. You understand? 1 gallon here 50 Ghana, which is 5 liters, right? So something that I was buying, Charlie. Now to go to Tema and come back, at least I have to get like 4 gallons. You understand? That's like 200 Ghana cedis. And you have to do your math. 200 Ghana cedis and this, and they are taking unnecessary taxes. You also I said, Hammer today. Make sure last week, me pardon no we insurance road ready. There was a me use Hammer. Hammer no the Bobo, but the good thing they say, and say Ghana, there's no traffic because Uncle Four can talk petrol go Mokamun and 2. So now La Paz, I know I say it's true, but it's sad.
But at this time, medium say we are seeing you holding it tight, Kakra.
No, you're holding it tight. You came promising this thing, and I mean, that would better manage any crisis that hits you. You can manage as well. And see, if I don't think that you came that you're not going to be hit by a crisis. I don't think that was the thing. Because no matter what, when you come into government,
you're not wrap it up my eye.
And no matter what, when you come to government, crisis was okay. Until when you're failing, what you have to do is to come to your friend and say, your citizens, and tell them the truth. That this and this and this and this is the issue. We cannot be facing these crises. And so your motorcade and your cars that you're moving around, plenty, your government officials, so the same price. You are paying them. You understand? Hallelujah that he's no longer chartering private jets and stuff. But aside that, they're still spending unnecessary money over unnecessary things. So our economy there, unless we all pray and then share so.
All right, let's do this. I mean, on the forex, saying dollar need trade is 7.95. That's buy. Sell 8.25. The British pound on 10.10, which is buy. Sell 10.60. The euro 8.20. Buy. Sell 8.40. See, these are the major currencies I determine. I be trading. I mean, I determine the country, but I think the dollar need cost through too much. At this point, the name say economic management team now again is almost a pay up kakra. So Lord, you better ask you on this. What do you say? Hello. What do you say?
Yeah. Hello.
Wait, the last topic in the Lord, we into wrap up my yanko. The state of the economy and E-Levy,
Okay. The economy is well, yeah, and then I'm here and you're comfortable. And I'm also managing, and to be an agent on Jim to Musa, and Yadia now, appeal. Now you want more boca. Now, maybe better make your way to be. Almost as the IMF in your option, IMF in your option. I don't think that Ghana and our option. When IMF for the more Muscat come back.
Oh, that's it.
But
yeah, the IMF has decided not to give us anything. Yeah, you are right.
Very good. So it's not, they are trying to. They are trying to make it sound as if say as no.
That's what it is.
Yes, they are not credit worthy. What they are saying. Yes, last August too. So last year August, near more another 1 billion apart from the COVID 1 billion. It is a last August we amount $1 billion. Said the Brunei 2 billion assets. And we be amount. Now still out here. When we find in context, say IMF not being an option. It's not say a pragmatic move be an day. They won't give us. I just say we all bad credit. Very good. So I'm fair non to and I say my problem with your leaders in the time be is the way of margining human. What I say? It's like they say who's a war bay. I'm fuel prices in a manoma cost.
And I make a child lot.
It's a major exporters. I also see yes kaka. So they say, but Uchi finance minister na but to their cost no crown, so still a yashi. And now oversaw say imported 5 times as much as we export. So the problem is and then I can export in the cry export China refining and I say end products you know, because right now the world everybody is restructuring, right? Will be ample very rely on will be for oil, proper beer, and I said no maybe. It and then I won't take the opportunity of this current situation, no. And maybe you're paying for the Indians and who cars are used to create. Since 2012, and I say, yeah, for the 2010, there are cars that use as much as 85% alcohol and then 50% gas. Okay. In Brazil, there are cars that are running on 100% ethanol. So that the America, the crowd, so who's a trouble 85, 75. So at this point in Ukraine, we are buying only and I say yes, what it's good for sugarcane production, it's good for cassava production. What they are saying. See the bay gas nibi, and now more be imported such cars, no more super cut down. What they are saying, because right now everybody is trying to win themselves off some kind of fuel somewhere. But they are paying for a Jimino, or Mako Tinaba, you say, or Makati or salary. More salary, no, I say.
Oh, but in a way, sir, ever contributed to it, Kakra.
Oh, then almost salary, no, even credit me, I support a 3 SHS for even 1 month. It's market and I say, and yes, come with the allowances and corruption in the music. I could so that Target Yana Moma and then never show Nipa 30 million food. I mean, what kind of thinking is this? It's, you know, isn't it time, as I say, yeah, oil no, a home running, oil no contract, me started near day, home has an opening view of why I home video. And then, yeah, cut it down on the way no export, no opportunity, no fancy a refinery, and I am finding a day by which mania and product.
That's true.
What I said, go and I see a Biden call Europe or say over some more oil and more, say they will be on freeway. If you don't so for some movie to electricity. Okay, I say, Bruni, no, not drain a year, Duma. Even cry, no, at this point, you know, isn't it a good time for government to promote public transport and also put on the transport? You see, I'm seeing this case. Isn't it opportunity? I'm more public transport in the Gumna, it's a bathroom system. New York, Virginia, school.
That's what Lord is saying. Says cars new routes and the traffic in the crowd buffer. So it's a very good opportunity as a government step in.
Mass transport, a bit cheaper.
Right.
I'm out for you also government, you make a lot of money, make employment, when you use our economy. What they are here? What the assemblies, and will be a handle or no any basin system. Munyeno, Mofan Conco, Metro Mass, then Central Line, will be a internally generated. Into the moon to me, if I will cry at my car, into your no crumble discount for going. No, it's me for Nipa at a lower rate. What they are say, pressure no so clear, Nipa no so be agreeing for, and they are agreeing the next level of sustenance home. Now, surround of power would bring again, they'll be the wood bring open to wood bring say, we are then agreeing development.
Right.
What I say, own free survival, you are always in a survival mode for practically all your life. So, how do you think you move to the next step? And you know, maybe I have a lot of problem with and paying forward. I don't know what is really wrong. Say, yeah, no, so now. You be any better than your mona, you need to do one now, you dream because it doesn't make any sense. What I say, and I make say cars are a far eternal. Here near Banche, isn't this opportunity for us to boost Banche production? Who need 2 million, 3 million being 2K USD for or say biochemistry, say why chemistry for and more fine year way me who say okay. And the fungu can because there are cars that do that. There are engines that can switch between those things. Right. Don't see the entire used to know a brochure brain and they say what I need cold. So that ethanol also absorbs a little bit of moisture. So usually it rusts and corrodes some of the things I want due to the weather. But in any hot place, via Brazil say there are cars that use 100%. Hot climate, they are moving. What I say, and you know, we should also take opportunity to do the show. Say, we'll be entrepreneur and now we'll be Nyansa and also we'll be with car. When there is problem like this, no, instead of complaining, no, they find a solution and come and make money.
Oh yeah,
is that not the
they
solution?
capitalize on it to make money. You are right. Yeah.
Of course, but why is it that we get free COVID na bana yenim say and take advantage even kotoka test cran here the command Nigeria wabra ko panoche amount for the dafom ndim faso no mutim fanto be kolebu amount for dafom ndim faso no ndim kolebu yeni la papa o nguchi ne no manome wo Ghana ha ndim afirst kana ma me ye hospital ya fa ma ken US I'm an NC more hostel. So that's so when I'm students, I will be the answer because of COVID. COVID hasn't it made people millionaires and why is it that if you don't so there and no moment money here or more?
We just have 3 minutes to go.
You know, yeah. Maximum that's meaning. Yeah, problem, maybe. I think they should sit down and then think of better ways of solving the situation. Example, tax leakages, ports, those are the things that they should look at. Not almost salary, 1,000 Ghana now, baby, year to 200.
Anyway, thank you very much for your contribution on this major issues addressing. And any free now, thanks for your time as always. Lord, all the way from Ghana, 8. This is almost 12:30 a.m. our Ghana. Lord, great, thank you very much as always. The same time next weekend, you be here. So for between joining you next weekend, so guys. FNC. The chance. Oh sure. Who is it?
Me no NDC way. Arsenal.
Am I here?
John Mahama way no.
Oh, Harvard no more coin no. And I've been so busy saying me name the across the crowd with US. I was told same say excellency John Dramani Mama Ba.
Yeah.
And a bay offer.
However, Obahi.
Almost a JDM or Harvard or yes show be or yet talks be or.
Oh wow.
And so probably himself of I bay on one, Tim on one pocket himself baby equal important. I'm so that's fine. Yeah, no Panama some more southern part of Boston, Baby Russia Crime Bar Studio. So I'm saying you remember her say or no, and a bay or no. Then in the picture I sending to I think say no, I think say no. Maybe you could capture issue. You might get live coverage from there. But all the same, the Lord, mommy and fancy. Now next weekend, yes, and
Okay, boss.
Sure. Thank you very much, guys. All right, on this note, you're being the show. It's also spiritual world show. So time with Prophet Walker up front. So, topical here in the last week, you're getting inside Kakra. The business I'm saying about sports, World Cup is here, could be an end, could be. On the shoot me when you're ahead of time, they are on boy. The channel say, or buy during the prophetic hour, or the prophetic eye, maybe some of that question. I'm on more and this is submission about. So I will say a very big thank you to everyone. You have a very enjoy the rest of your evening. Maybe I will be